Hello, I hope you're very well. Today I'm going to review units number 7 and number 8. I'm going to review specifically the grammatical content. In case you need extra help, just send me an email as usual, right? Let's get started. The name of unit number 7 is Passions are Passion, and in this unit, we speak about the present perfect tense and the past simple. Let's see the example here. We have a boy, and he says, I have been on this bus for 10 hours. And he's specifically speaking about a situation that probably started 10 hours before, but it has some consequences on the present perfect at the current time. The present perfect can be used for different circumstances to describe different events. For example, in this picture, we can see two people speaking, and the question is, how long has your family been in this town? We are speaking about an unfinished past, right? And the answer is, I have been here for 3 years. My brother has been here for 5 years. What does that mean? It means that the action of the event started, the experience started 3 years ago, but at the moment the family still continue living in the same place. All right, the present perfect can be used for different. All right, the present perfect can be used to describe different events. For example, in this case, the situation is an unfinished task. If you can take a look at the picture, there are two people speaking, and the journalist asks the following question: how long has your family been in this town? And the answer that girl provides is, I have been here for 3 years. My brother has been here for 5 years. Can you notice that the situation started 10 years ago, but still continues until our days or until the current time? But it is most likely that this event will continue in the future. Probably they will continue living in the same place. Okay, here we can also use the present perfect to refer to an experience. All right. For example, they have been on 2 trips around the world. They are speaking about something, or we are referring about an experience that those children have been through. We cannot say they are on 2 trips around the world, because in that case we are not expressing an experience clearly. We can also use the present perfect to express present result. Let's see this example. I have been on this bus for 10 hours and I'm not home yet. And you notice that probably the boy has, has been uh, on the bus for 10 hours, but he still continues on the bus. He hasn't got off yet. The present perfect is also used to refer to ongoing action. For example, I have liked this job for a few years. I need a new job. And in this case, the person has been working in the same place for some time, but now he feels that he's not doing well with his job. He wants to find a new job. Alright. On the other hand, we use the past simple to refer to completed action. For example, I disliked my job for a few years. It means that probably some time ago, the person was working in a place and he or she disliked his or her job. But now the situation has changed. He or she has found a new job. So, for example, she has finished part of her job and she's still working, right? And in relation to the past simple. She finished her homework. Can you notice the difference? The first case with the present perfect will refer to something which is taking place at the moment of speaking, right? But in the second case, in the past simple, we are referring to something that has ended, an action that has ended. Yeah. We have the present perfect simple passive with the following structure: has or has been plus past participle. And we can use that structure in the passive or also in the active form. Right? Let's see an example. For an unfinished past, for many people have lost their jobs this year. Okay? And for a past experience, have you ever been fired? Can you notice the difference between the first and the second? Right. Now let's move on then to some exercises. In this exercise, you have to select the correct tense. You have to decide if the sentence is in past simple, present perfect passive, or present perfect continuous. And the sentence is: he rode his new scooter all around town. Make your decision, and the correct tense is past simple because the person probably has finished that action. He has been writing for hours. Is it past simple, present perfect passive, or present perfect continuous? And the correct answer is present perfect continuous. You can notice that we have the ing form, a gerund form of the verb. Next, that scooter has been ridden every day this week. Past simple, present perfect passive, or present perfect continuous. Make your choice. And the correct sentence is present perfect passive. Here we have the grammar spot and also some exercises for you to do mentally in this case. Name three tenses. Why are they used? Here we have: she lived in Scotland, she lived in Portugal for 2 years, she's lived in Scotland since 1993, and she's lived in England, Portugal, and Scotland. She lives in Scotland. We are referring then to present simple gerund statement. She lived in Portugal for 3 years. For 3 years, it has simple completed past action. She's lived in Scotland since 1993. It's present perfect and finished past. And then she's lived in England, Portugal, and Scotland. And that case, the person is speaking about an experience. Okay? Number two, which question asks about the activity? Which asks about the quantity? Okay, the first one. How long has she been writing Harry Potter books? And how many has she written? So the question that is in relation to an activity is the first one. About quantity is how many has she written? And number three, the sentences sound unnatural in the active. Make them passive and find them in the text. People have translated her books into 60 languages. In this case, we don't care about who translates the text. So we use then the passive voice. Her books have been translated into 60 languages. The next sentence is: people have sold 300 million copies of her book. And millions of copies of her book have been sold. And finally, people have made 6 of the books into movies. And we can see that the answer is 6 of her books have been made into movies. You can also go to the grammar reference, pages 136, to 138. In unit number 8, we spoke about no fear, all right? And in relation to the grammar content, we spoke about the verb pattern. So we remember that. Let's see an example that we love it. They decided to visit Alaska last summer. Sometimes we use verbs with an infinitive, and sometimes we use verbs with an ing form, and the meaning may change. Sometimes the meaning is the same, but sometimes it's changed. This is the verb pattern. Sometimes we use verbs with infinitive, and sometimes we use verbs with ing form, and the meaning might be different or might be the same. For example, in relation to the infinitive form, we have the following sentence. They decided to visit Alaska last summer. We are using verb plus infinitive. I would love to go back there someday. Here we are using as well the infinitive form. That is the verb plus to. A second verb pattern is verb person plus infinitive. For example, I want to do better at school. You need someone to study. Let's move on then to a third verb pattern. Make or let, person plus infinitive. Example. That movie made us laugh. We don't have to use to laugh. It's right. That movie made us laugh. I let you know where it is playing. Okay, there is another verb pattern, adjective plus infinitive. For example, I'm very happy to meet you. We have the adjective plus the infinitive form to meet you. It was wonderful to see your photos. Wonderful would be the adjective, and then we continue with the infinitive form. Let's continue with the ing form. This is another pattern, verb pattern. And we have here some examples. They loved flying around Alaska. Whenever we speak about feeling, we use the ing form, gerund form. They also enjoyed looking for gold. Then we have verb plus object plus ing. Let's see an example. I can hear the birds singing. The birds is the object of the sentence. I hate people cutting in line. We have the verb, and then we have the object, which is in this case Thibault, and then we continue with the ing form. Preposition plus ing. Whenever we use a preposition, we have to use an ing form with the verb. For example, my mother is good at painting portraits. At a preposition for that reason, we have to use an ing form with the partner. He's afraid of flying. Of is a preposition, so the verb should contain an ing form. Here we have some exercises for you to do. You have to select the correct verb pattern. For example, number 1 is it's difficult to save money. The verb patterns are number 1, verb subject plus 2, adjective 2, and 3, verb subject plus infinitive without 2. Make your choices, and let's see what happens. The correct verb pattern is adjective plus form. All right, let's continue with the second exercise. I need to explain something. Number 1, verb plus 2. Number 2, adjective 2. Number 3, verb subject plus 2. The correct answer is verb 2. Next, my friend is good at fixing things. Number 1, verb subject plus 2. 2, preposition plus ing. 3, verb subject plus infinitive without 2. Let's see. Preposition and ing form. Okay, let's move on then to the grammar spot and do the exercise. Number 1, match a pattern in A with the sentence from the email in B. A, verb plus ing, and the answer in B would be he enjoyed swimming. Then Verb plus to. I need to warn you. Then verb plus somebody plus to. Victor told us to throw meat. Then verb plus somebody plus infinitive but without to. You made him feel at home. Then adjective plus to. It's impossible to see the scar. And the final one is preposition plus ing. We're thinking of staying 2 more days. Number 2, what is the difference in meaning between these sentences? She remembered to email her mom. She remembered and then she emailed. And then she remembered emailing her mom. She emailed, then she remembered.
Language and Culture 4. Language and Culture 4. Language and Culture 4.